Hello, hello, and welcome to My Time TV. This is community TV with Adair, where it is TV for you by TV for me. And this is where I talk to people in our communities who are doing amazing things to help people around them and enhance the lives of people in their communities as well. This could be things like yoga, gardening, meditation, learning to cook, reading tarot cards, healing, physical fitness, anything that you're interested in, we're going to be covering it here. Today, it's my absolute pleasure to introduce Judy Forbes. Now, this is it's a first for today because we've got Judy from Once and Again Book Cafe. She is our very first bricks and mortar business that as in the cafe, so I'm really excited to bring Judy in. She set up the book cafe in July 2015, and her aim was that people will visit once and then visit again. And she planned the book cafe so that it would become a relaxed space for the community and passing customers. Judy has a background of 23 years in education, training and project management, and luckily includes food service and hospitality. She does a barista. She's done a barista course or two. Previously, she has worked in bar and retail. She said she's always had a passion for working with people from all walks of life and making a difference in the local community. I really love that, making a difference in the local community, because that's something that's really close to my heart. I'm bringing Judy in now. Welcome, Judy.
Hi, Adair. Thanks a lot for having me today.
You're most welcome. It's an absolute pleasure. I'm really fascinated by the Book Cafe. I actually have been there for an event. We can talk about that in a little while. But first, I'd really love to know how you came up with the idea, because it's rather unusual, isn't it?
It is rather unusual. There's probably a few, certainly nationally and locally, that are starting to, I guess, find their way into these sorts of areas. But for me, it was went to St Kilda in Melbourne, in Victoria, going back in the late 1990s, and I went to a cafe, and right next door to the cafe there was a gift shop and also a bookshop, and I looked in all three and sat down and had a coffee, and there was a lounge in the bookshop, and I wasn't actually allowed to sit down, and I thought, oh, what a good idea it would be to have lounges. And I went back to my girlfriend and we had a coffee and said, oh, this is it, this is what I want to do, this is put the three concepts together, have the book cafe with gifts. And I guess along the way I also have a background in community services and health and early childhood, and that fostering that sense of community was going to be very important to me. And as a small business and a sole trader, I also wanted somewhere that businesses could come, particularly people in sort of entrepreneurial stages of their business, people who are starting up, people who might just have an idea. And yeah, it sort of evolved over, well, gosh, it was probably 15 years from the idea or the concept of the idea through to opening. Obviously, my day job got in the way of good plans, but I never gave up on it. And around about 2006, I did a vision board, which I keep in the shop, and it's really interesting to go and have a look at that every now and again just to see what did evolve. And obviously a vision board is fantastic to keep you targeted, but it was a bit of blood, sweat and tears along the way.
That's pretty amazing. And I think to actually follow your dream through, and it took like 15 years to come to fruition, and probably a lot of courage as well to make the leap from what you were doing to what you're doing now. I think that's very, very inspiring. I actually would like, before I ask you the next question, I would like to say that if people are watching, we've had a couple of parts. I see Mary's here. Just jump in and say hi. If you have any questions for Judy I'd be really interested in, maybe probably not time for it now, but sort of digging a little bit deeper at some point about how you found the courage to actually follow your dream like that, because that to me is, that's inspiring. It really is, to say that to do something. So many people sort of die with their dreams still in them, and you've got this concept and you've brought it to fruition. So if there's anybody who wants to ask any questions about that or any part of the journey, I'm sure Judy would be more than happy to share that. But And also, Judy is giving away a tea for two, valued at $30 at the end of the program. So, so stay around, and we'll sort that out at the end, which is awesome. But I just wanted to talk to you a little bit more about the business, small businesses, and so because you connect with people in the community on a lot of different levels. So you've got your cafes for people who walking off the street and just want a coffee, and just like a regular cafe, or small businesses. Just explain a little bit more about what does that look like and how does that sort of work.
Well, probably one of the things I can do is show you around in a little bit, but I guess the short version of is, as you said, we have people coming in off the street, passers by. We're on a busy part of Marion Road, but we make sure that people have parking opportunities. We have chats about the parking quite regularly. The other thing is that we very much network within the community, and Marion Council, for example, who have been very supportive of the endeavour. We have an application in with them at the moment to try and make some improvements in the area. And they originally had some migrant women groups who came and had afternoon teas here, for example. We've had Australian small business women's group, which is, I think, one of the events that you came to, Adair. Sometimes it's customers walking into the shop who have an idea for an event or a meeting. We've had politicians. Annabelle Diagance has also been very supportive. She's had some community-based and small business lunches at the cafe. I always plan to have that sort of networking. If I could do that professionally, and I guess this job enables me to do that, has been a really big part of what we do here. So we're also part of the Southern Business Connections Network Group, and they've also
had that, Judy?
The Southern Business Connections Network, SBC. They used to be called ERBA, Edwardstown Regional Business Network. So
do they have a Facebook page, or?
Yep, they do. So if you just go in through SBC, or you could type in the full words, which is Southern Business Connections, and formerly ERBA. Yeah.
I think that's probably useful just to give them a bit of a shout out as well, because we're all small businesses helping each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I'll do is I'll find the page and I'll pop it in the link above here.
Yeah.
So
absolutely,
because
they have had breakfasts and meetings here, but equally they have that for other small businesses. Quite often we will have perhaps a sausage sizzle that's supported by Rotary, and we'll go along and there'll be a guest speaker, and it's often one of the small businesses around the area. So you get to learn about your local community. I have lived here for quite some time as well, on and off. So for us, it was always really important to engage the community, and the ideas often come from customers. And it's probably worth actually mentioning our suspended coffee initiative as well, Adair. That's also something that we've been able to either support customers or the community in paying forward, or random acts of kindness, which is the initial idea behind suspended coffees. But what we do is people will pay forward a coffee when they buy their own, and then the value of those coffees at the end of each month will contribute to an organisation. And at the moment, for example, we have the Heart Foundation that we're focusing on, one of our family's fathers who passed away, so we're going to donate to the Heart Foundation. But we've had the young carers, South Australia, they actually came here to retrieve their suspended coffees, and they had a winter chill hot chocolate night. So that was a really great event. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's been really important. So the suspended coffee it depends on what's going on in our customers' lives. Sometimes it's in my own family. We support organisations as well. So yeah, that's been a big part of the business as well.
That is really, really awesome. I love that idea.
Yeah. Do you want me to show you around, Adair?
I'd love to have a look around. I'll just pop you on. You can take us on a tiki tour. I'm going to pop you on solo here, so you can have the screen all to yourself.
All right. We've
Okay,
had a really
it's still
busy
near me,
morning.
but it's all
Okay, doke.
yours.
I'm going
Go for
to
it.
turn you around in a minute, but we have had a busy morning, so I'm not sure who's out there now. I can't hear the coffee machine going, so chances are people are either enjoying their coffees or they've all gone home on me. But one of the other things that we've had quite regularly here is macrame. So the first thing you're going to see when I turn you around, is some of the macrame that's
Oh,
been
that's
made by.
gorgeous.
That's by Nucci and Co. Nadia and her husband Michael and their families have been a big part of our cafe as well. Out the back here, which is where I am at the moment, I won't show you my desk. We,
I look a bit
we,
like mine.
oh, okay, there it is with a
It
drill
looks a lot like
and
mine.
the toilet cleaner. I won't go into that. So we have a bit of a hot desk situation out here as well. So if people are wanting somewhere to work away from home, they can join us here for study or work-related purposes as well.
That's a
We've
great idea.
had our tradesperson in, which was my partner this morning and also my daughter Jordan, and they've been putting together this bench so that it comes up so that it's better for our back care. But this is our sort of work area. We've expanded. We started out with pretty much just coffee and cake, but now we have quite.
Oh, we've lost you. Oh, hang on. Okay.
We're back.
Yep, got you back
Okay.
now. Sorry about that. Keep
That's
going.
all right. So
Yep.
what I'm showing you now is our beautiful coffee machine, and we're well supported by Ciano Coffee with the coffee machine. And I'm not sure what the lights. Tell me
Judy,
again.
you said that you do. You said that you do. You've done a couple of barista courses. Do you actually
Yes.
run courses from your cafe at all, or?
Not at the moment, but we have had work experience and trainees. Oh, here comes Jordan. Jordan, say hi. Where is she?
Hello,
There she is.
John.
It's my daughter, Jordan. So we've had work experience and disability employment agency staff, and we're also about to embark on a program with Hut Street, where people who are transitioning in life, I guess, and work, and they're going to be coming to do some work experience and practice their barista skills here as well. So that's we're looking forward to doing that.
Yeah.
It's probably, the light may not be good, but at the same time possibly good for people to not necessarily be identified. This table that I'm zooming in on a little bit, on
Yeah.
my in my notes and my visions along the way, I actually drew a table that looked a little bit like this, and I forgot all about it until I was looking back on it in years to come, or in the last couple of years, and it's interesting that we ended up with one exactly the same. We have a couple of people who have gone now, but a couple of gentlemen who are joining us this morning, and they have their dog outside waiting for them very, very patiently.
It looks gorgeous up here in the window there.
I think we've got a customer two customers actually about to join us. This is John and Mark, and John and Mark are regular customers as well. And in actual fact, hi Mark, hi John, how are you? Welcome to Community TV. And Mark and John actually bring their own cups too, which has been really good, so they get a little bit of a discount on that as well. And John likes to read the paper and has a spot in our living room corner. I'll just move around here and just go down. You can see we're busy Marion Road, but we've got beautiful bay windows. And it's amazing, once that door shuts, you really can't hear too much. But this is our living room corner, and a lot of our families and younger people and older people alike really quite enjoy sitting in there as well.
Yeah, just come down a little bit more. We're just still looking out the window.
Gotcha.
Oh, that looks very comfy.
There we go. So you've got some pillows there as well, and there's some more macrame. And
Lovely.
I'll just show you one more thing before I come back to you. And this is some artwork that we have. We have exhibitors here as well. And
That
this
looks
is
good enough to
Therese.
eat, Judy.
Absolutely. And this is Therese Malloy Art, and she's got some on her window here as well. And we're soon to be joined by a photographer, Andrew, and he'll be bringing his work in shortly. And last but not least, I'll just show you the books, of course. And,
So are they all pre-loved books?
So these are the pre-loved books that I'm showing you now. You've got a bit of a view there. And then over here, we have books by our South Australian authors. We've actually just had one of our authors leave, and that's Ian Kissock that you can possibly see in the middle of the bookshelf there. Yeah, so that's Ian's books. And so we've got quite a number of South Australian authors who also come along and join an authors book group once every 2 or 3 months.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And they'll
I've got a couple of friends who write children's books. They might be interested. Both of them are in South Australia. They might be interested in if they're not already connected.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got Tara George, who's one of our teen authors, as in teen author writers. So we've got a Fringe event coming up in February, March as well. So that's in the program where you can read more about it.
So what's the event that you're doing for the Fringe?
So the Fringe event is titled Sippin' and a Suppin'. So sipping on coffee and supping on some of our lovely light meals or snacks. And Michelle Fairbairn is a visual artist and a short story writer, and she's going to join us at some of the cafe events and, in fact, just during some of the day-to-day cafe operations. And she's going to be talking with customers and listening to customers and not identifying anybody, not putting whole stories, but just taking words and phrases. And then she's going to put them together in a one-night show. And in that show, it will represent the ethos, I guess, of the cafe. And if I know Michelle, she's a good storyteller. And we'll also have Andy Salvanos, who's one of our, in fact, Andy's playing in the background at the moment, not live, but we have him on Spotify. And he'll be playing live here on the 15th of March. So that's really exciting as well.
So do you have live music there regularly as well?
Yeah, we do. We've had mini markets, and Andy has played there, and we've had a couple of wine and cheese evenings, and we've had folk singers. We've actually had one that was a DJ. I wasn't sure how that was going to go, but it went really well. We've had poetry slams and guitarists. So and we actually had a fellow come one night who was one afternoon, a saxophonist, and he sat down on the lounge that I just showed you, and he said, "Do you mind if I play?" And I said, "Absolutely." So that was a lovely afternoon as well. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So this is a totally random one. Is there any thoughts of expansion? Because I'm on the other side of town. Not that it's a huge way to come over to you. It's probably a 40-minute drive.
Yeah, look, the vision is sort of there, and certainly in the original 3-year plan, a second once and again, a cafe once and again, I guess. It's there in the vision. And expansion here isn't necessarily possible, but somewhere else just might be possible.
Wow, I mean that sounds exciting. What you're doing is so amazing, and I love the fact that it's really engaging the community and providing real value to the community. It's not just serving coffee, it's much, much, much more than that. It's
I'm thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah, you can tell.
Just start me off and I'm on.
And there's just the ideas and the possibilities for the community for something like this are just absolutely endless. But I do have to ask, you said you do barista coffees. Do you cook your own cakes?
Now there's a good question, and I can't make that claim to fame. Not that I haven't tried. We've had some scones here. We had David, who was our chef for about 18 months, and as much as he tried to get me to do other things, part of it comes down to time and money and the economy, I guess, in terms of what we can do, but it's also the regulations and classification that we have here at the cafe as to what we're able to do. So really and again, this really was how it was meant to be. We have two particularly good bakeries that we're supported by, and that's Jenny's Bakery at Glen Osmond and Albie's Gluten-Free Bakery. We have a number of gluten-free customers, and so we've made sure that, and my daughter's included in that, so we make sure we've got plenty of gluten-free. So we're very well supported with them. And we also have some of our own customers who are young, or sometimes young, sometimes not, who have their own micro businesses. One is Megan from Dot Chocolate, and she does our melting moments and our Florentines. And she started just with us, and she's ended up, I think she has about 5 cafes that she supplies now. So while we're a bit jealous of that, it's very exciting for her as well.
It is very exciting. That's awesome.
We also have dried fruit by Jocelyn, and Jocelyn, I'm on the management or the business management committee for Jocelyn. That's a community living project, and Jocelyn's had her business now for about 3-4 years, I think, and she supplies us with beautiful dried fruit that is ideal for platters or children's school lunches, and people often just buy them as a snack as they're leaving. So we've had Jocelyn here now, I think, since about it's probably at least 12 months. So we try to, I guess, engage our customers. We have Nana Gwen's apricot and almond biscuits that are really popular as well. So.
Wow, that's amazing. It really is. The way you've involved the community and got the whole community engaged is just spectacular.
Thank
really
you.
is. I want to circle back to the gifts.
Yes.
Because we saw, you said you had macrame classes, you've got the books there for sale for the local authors. Are there other gifts that you do, like?
Yes, I omitted to show you our range of gifts on my little tour, but yes, we do. And once again, excuse the coin of phrase there, we do our best to support local. So we have Claire Viviani, who's from Papercraft with Heart, and she does most of the supply for our cards. But we've also had Sarah join us recently, and we've got some community artists who provide cards, particularly around our mini market and Christmas and Easter time. And we have Balash Candles, and that's also a local South Australian enterprise. And what else do we have? We have, just having a mental blank myself now, essential oils, Kindred Self essential oils, and again, all in particular at this point, young people who are getting out and giving things a go. So we're doing our best to support that as well. So
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Again, it's must be so satisfying and rewarding to be able to just involve the community like that. And the scope of what you do is just huge.
It is, and I guess that's why we
keep up with it.
I know. Some days I do wonder. I had a night away on Sunday night. It felt like weeks. So, but yeah, look. Honestly, I have so many opportunities just to have some great conversations and network with people during the day. That it's always interesting. Yes, I get tired. I have what I call my Monday meltdown. But, all in all, we're actually going to be opening 7 days from the end of January as well. We're welcoming Casa Bambini, who's an early childhood service across the road. So we really want to support their families as they perhaps leave their children perhaps on a first day and might be feeling like they need a bit of company or conversation or just coffee. So we're going to do that for the period of the Fringe at least. And we'll also have a liquor licence during the Fringe so that people can enjoy a wine or a beer or a champagne as well. So we do catering as well, Adair. So we've actually catered for Jay Weatherall and his a group with him over at Open Book Howden, recently. So we have a frittata that comes from Rustic Gourmet, and we'll put together, club sandwiches, you name it, and we'll say yes, and then we'll work it out with you.
Yeah. Oh, I know that feeling. That is
Do
really
our
awesome.
best.
So if we wanted to, so a small business wanting to have an event or run a
Yes.
workshop, or
Yes.
what's the capacity and how would they go about doing that? What would
Yep. The
be the?
capacity is 25, but you can have a minimum of 5. So it depends on what your group is. And a couple of ways you can make contact with us on our website. You'll see a contact page there. And you can certainly just email me. And of course, you can come into the cafe and we can have a chat, have a few little terms and conditions, but nothing too serious. And we have some little pricing packages for example, coffee and cake, which is predominantly $10. And then just depending on how many people on top of that and how long you want to be here, that starts to change. But basically, the cafe operations are what you're paying for here. It's not a venue hire. We've had wedding anniversaries, we've had baby showers, 50th birthdays, so it doesn't have to be in a business capacity or community. It can be family or friends. And so you can just come in and book directly with me, and we can sort out what you'd like to do. Karina, who was one of our very first events from Australian Women in Small Business, she started out just by sitting on our couch, and it became, on the couch with Karina, and there might be just two or three. Do you remember that? Yeah.
I do remember. That's really interesting to know that backstory for that. So thanks for sharing.
Yeah, I think she just had her little boy at that stage, or her first child, and and then it built up to some bigger events, and now I think it's probably too big for us. So, so between 5 and 25, we've had platter building nights with Tucker's Platters and Wine Direct, who are very supportive. So, as I said, you name it, and we'll do our best to work with you. So just get in touch.
That's fantastic. So is there any particular times that you schedule for those types?
It was Monday and Tuesday any time of the day, but as I mentioned, we're going to be open 7 days shortly. So anything after 2:00 on a Saturday or Sunday is possible. And other than that, any evening, any time after 4:00 is possible, Monday through to Friday. And then depending on how 7 days a week goes, if we don't continue that beyond the Fringe, then it'll be back to a Monday and Tuesday. So again, we'll try to work with you, and whether it's an hour or an hour and a half. We had meditation here before Christmas. We had 3 sessions with Barefoot and Thankful, or Anne from Barefoot and Thankful. And we had some yoga nidra going on where people were lying down, and that was, a lot of personal space that was encroached on, but it still seemed to work. and Anne did a beautiful job.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That is really awesome. Well, what I'm going to do, because we're out of time, Judy, but what I'm going to do for people who watch the replay is to say Judy actually has a offer for let me see if I can find it here. Did I put it
Tea for two?
Tea for two. It seems to have.
That's it.
Go on, let me just. Tea for two to the value of $30.
$30.
Now, what you need to do is go to the Once and Again bookshop, book cafe business page, and the link is above here anyway. So click on that. It's the first person to send Judy a message and say tea for two, and
that's it.
You can then claim your tea for two, and I'll leave it with you, whoever is first, and Judy to figure out how you're actually going to claim your tea for two. So that's a lovely gift to some lucky person in the community who can pop in. Obviously, they have to be local or in Adelaide. But I think if you're watching and you'd like to take advantage of that. See if you're the first one in. Just go to the Once and Again business page. It's just called Once and Again. And
yes,
the links above here. Type in Tea for Two, and if you're the first one, Judy will let you know, and you will be able to go and visit and have tea for two to the value of $30.
excellent.
That is so excellent. Judy, this has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you.
Thanks, Adair, and you too.
Appreciate your time. I appreciate you sharing with us, and it's just been mind-blowing to see what you've been able to achieve in the community and what you've been able to offer. It's certainly a cafe with a twist.
Oh, thank you for your support. Cheers.
Love it. So, all right, well, I'll be over there for a cuppa very shortly. My mum lives over that way, so
great.
So I'll grab her
to
and we'll pop in and we'll see you IRL in real life.
Excellent. All right.
Thanks.
Look forward to
Thanks,
it.
Judy.
All right.
Bye
cheers.
for now.
Bye. Bye, everybody.